Welcome back to the channel, guys. So today you can tell by the title of this video that I am buying a brand new car. So the Mercedes is going to be going. As you can tell, I'm down here at Esplanade, which is the garage that I bought the Mercedes from exactly a year ago today. So what car am I getting exactly? I will show you guys as soon as the doors lift up. A lot of you are going to be shocked. It's not something that I've bought with my heart, it's something that I've bought with my head. And I think that is exactly what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the year, is using more of my head and prioritizing things that are going to be happening over the next couple of years rather than what I want right now. And I persuade a lot of people to give that a go, because this year has been a complete whirlwind of a year anyway. But without me rattling on too much, we're here to see what I have bought. So let's get on over inside, sign the rest of the papers and get this new car. Look at that, we have just 8 miles on the clock, and obviously that's delivery miles. Right, so you are joining me from the driver's seat of my new daily car. And if you are still watching the video, yes, I did absolutely rinse one of these in my previous videos. You're probably thinking, why on earth have you gone and bought one? Just to put it in a quick summary, this is the top spec of the version that we previously had on the channel, which obviously I had for the day when the Mercedes went in for its service. That cost me an absolute fortune. So this is the 1 litre petrol manual Volkswagen Polo United 70 plate. So in a way I have downgraded, but I've upgraded to a new car. This has a lot more features inside the car than the Mercedes has. So with the Mercedes, it was a 16 plate. There was a massive difference on interior spec from the 16 and the 17, but there was such a huge price difference of why I got the 16 plate instead of the 17 plate. But yes, the Mercedes was on finance and it was costing me an absolute fortune, which was a big reason of why I decided to get rid. Because I didn't own the car outright and it was costing me so much money. Obviously I have like a 5 to 10 year plan of where I want to be. I decided that I need to get rid of the Mercedes, because once I've paid it off, it's not going to be worth nowhere near as much as the price of that I got it. And I already in a year lost nearly 10 grand on that car. If I knew that back then, I would not have got the car. I would not have signed the deal. But we live and learn. I massively respect that knowledge comes over time and you've got to make mistakes to learn from them. So I've decided to take this car in exchange for the Mercedes. I'm saving a hell of a lot of money every month. My insurance has halved. The fuel economy is slightly better than a Mercedes. So overall, it worked out that I'm nearly £200 a month better off having this car than I am the Mercedes. And just driving this around, yeah, it hasn't got the power and it's a manual, not an auto like the Merc was, but it's a daily. I've got to remember, I've still got the ST to have my fun and the excitement in. So just having a car that's just it's the family car. So the missus can drive this. She hasn't passed her test yet, so having her on this as a provisional driver, it's the perfect car for her to learn in. And just thinking that maybe in like four years time, when she is driving and stuff like that, she has a perfect car to jump into, like a first-time driver. And not only does it have all the safety aspects like the Mercedes has, it actually has a bit more. So it was just a complete no-brainer to have as a family car. So in that aspect, I do not regret getting rid of the Mercedes. Yes, it's not as luxury and in your face, which I don't actually want, because with the Mercedes you have people thinking that you was a baller and stuff like that, and I don't want that image. I want to be as transparent as I possibly can on this channel, for people to go, oh, you've downgraded and this, that and the other. Like, I put a thing up on my story earlier where, what do you think I'm replacing the car with? And the comments was ridiculous. People saying, a Lambo and an A45S and this, that and the other. And then obviously I had some people that knew I was getting this car and saying, oh, you traded it in for a 1 litre shitbox and stuff like that. And it just goes to show that the diverse and the way that you come across on social media is just absolutely ridiculous, and I don't want it to be like that. I want to be as honest as possible and just enjoy life. I don't want that stress of, oh my god, I've got to find that money every month to look like I'm better off than I actually am. So for me, it's a massive weight off of my shoulders that I don't feel like I have to make the impression of having the extravagant cars and this, that and the other, where of the way that the YouTube channel's going, I get to drive exciting cars pretty often, so I don't need to have a luxury car as my daily. Yeah, it was nice, but I don't want that stress. That, in a nutshell, is why I've got this car. And just driving it around now, I'm on the way to pick the missus up, and it's just so smooth and so quiet, and I feel like I'm not in a rush. Where with the Mercedes, because you can put your foot down, plant it, and then put you back in your seat, and you was just constantly trying to race everywhere. Like I say, the interior is actually nicer than the Mercedes. And obviously, just going back to when I completely roasted the last one that we had on the channel, yes, it is technically the same car, but the interior is a lot nicer. The other one had real cheap, tacky plastic everywhere. It didn't have all the nice fancy interior with all, like, the stereo didn't have all the features and stuff that this has. And that was the 80 horsepower one, so you did feel a bit of difference in the drive. So in a way, I looked like an absolute idiot of roasting that car, but that was because I was driving the Merc, and it was a big step in jumping from the Mercedes to that. But I felt like I had to put on this I'm a baller type lifestyle, because I was driving that, where if I've got that out of my life, I don't need to feel like that. Like, I've got to be humble, and I don't want to put on a persona that I'm something I'm not. To just give a basic rundown of like the stereo and everything, and how everything connects, like with your phone and stuff. With the Merc, it didn't have the Apple CarPlay and stuff like that. So I've got my phone plugged into the Apple CarPlay down here, and they did actually give me a very nice VW iPhone cable, which was a £40 optional extra, but it came with the car, and obviously with the deal it came with the car. So I have a £40 iPhone cable just because it has Volkswagen stamped on it. Just like then, I just got a text message and it's just popped up on the screen. I can click on it, it will read it out to me, and then I can just talk back and stuff like that. But so the Mercedes didn't have stuff like that. So if I was driving along and I needed to reply to a text message, I'd either have to pull over or use my phone, which we don't want to do. So I can just click there, it will read the message out to me, which I understand it is in most cars nowadays, so most of you have that feature. But the Mercedes, a more expensive car, didn't have that. And with the prices of stuff like the servicing and stuff, that was nearly £1,000 to service the car. It's just ridiculous. We don't want to be doing that every year. But yeah, that's enough me rambling on of why I've bought this car, because I'm sure you guys will understand that this is just a daily. It doesn't need to be over the top. It's nice and cheap to run. It's perfect for the missus to learn in, and obviously I've got Hunter's car seat in the back there, all ISOFIX and stuff like that, so I know that he's nice and safe and it is a comfortable ride for us to just drive around town in. So we'll get out the car in a second once I've pulled over, and we'll have a quick walk around the car and I'll talk a bit more about it. Right, so I've just pulled back into Esplanade just to show you the inside of the car, seeing as I was near. So let's have a go inside and show you what the interior is like. Excuse the stuff in the door already, but it's actually a really nice interior. Pretty basic when it comes over to where the cup holders and stuff are, but it does the job what you need. Let's come over to the center console here, which is a nice bit to put your phone in and your wallet and stuff like that. And obviously you've got the cable with the Volkswagen iPhone cable down there. Let's come on into the car. So this is how I see it. Obviously the steering wheel is really smooth, nice size. You've got all the controls over here, so next song, and obviously your volume and stuff down here, the cruise control, the voice, so you hold that and Siri comes on like it would on your phone. Up and down for the center. I'll just give it a quick start to show you what it's like when it turns on. Starting Apple Connect, connected to my iPhone, and obviously this is how it would start. We come up with maps and stuff like that, and we can just go menu, and we have a lot of stuff going on here that we can go through, but it's just easier to use the Apple CarPlay. Obviously we've got the maps, and then we can go over here to my apps and stuff like that, where I can send text messages going along. I like the fact that I can use Waze. Oh, well, the wizard likes to come up. Waze, because that's a really good app as a sat nav. Obviously comes up with speed cameras and stuff like that. And Spotify is good. But yeah, the interior is actually really nice, and it's actually a really comfortable place to be. We'll just go into the back. I've already put Hunter's car seat in the back, but that's just nice and easy. Obviously I've got the 360 spin one for him, so it's just easy to get him in and out of the car. So if you've got a little one and a family, stuff like that, it's nice and easy, and that was really easy to put back in. And we'll go over to the boot. I already have stuff in there, so excuse the mess, but decent sized boot for such a small car. But we don't need to go into too much detail, obviously, but the floor, you can lift it out and lower it down, so it is a bit deeper, but we don't need to do that just yet. But yeah, that is a rundown of the inside of the car. But you know me, we can't keep this standard for too long, so we're gonna head over to Vision Designs, where I've been in my previous videos, obviously wrapping cars and stuff like that, because I've got one thing that I want to put to this car. So we're going to head over to Vision Designs now and get something put on this car just to make it my own. Well, so now that we completely cleaned the car down, colour absolutely pops under these lights, which is quite cool. So we are going to go with like a satin black stripe going right over, and then a pinstripe down the side. Still yet to decide colour, but we'll come up with it on the spot in a minute. So yeah, we're just going to put the stripe going across the car just like that, and then we can cut a Mercedes badge to go in there, and I can pretend it's a Mercedes again. Yes. Right, so I decided I'm going to take the polo off because I want it to not be a polo, but it's going to come off. So Adam is going to make it disappear real quick. Oh, it's already fallen. Hey! Now we've got to polish that off and get rid, so. Well, it's just like that. We already have the satin black stripe come down the bonnet, up over the roof and the back of the car. So now we're going to put the pinstripe down here, and we've decided we're going to go for like a lime greeny type of colour, and that should just completely set it off. Right, so we've gone with like this lime green, which Adam says like closest to an RS green. That's quite cool. This is a proper vinyl cutter, unlike my epoxy little thing. We're so you're doing it really fast?
Yeah.
I was going to see how fast this machine cuts a straight line. Obviously, we obviously did a pinstripe. Jesus. That thing is savage. Wow, savage. Right, now let's get this applied to the car. Right, that is all that we're going to be doing this car today. Obviously we have a satin black stripe going across here with a nice Kermit the Frog green stripe going over the top, which kind of just sets it out. It stands out. Obviously the Polos do, well this one didn't, but some of them come with the satin black and a red stripe. But this just kind of makes it unique and makes it my own. So if you're on the island and you see a Polo with a green stripe going over it, you know it's me. So, once again, thanks for watching today's video. If you are still watching, because I know it's been long-winded, make sure you give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next video.